Hey everybody, welcome back to Pitstain Hobbies and Marvel PHX, aka the Ian and Todd Show. We're back on the Agora Models 1/16 scale ORCA fishing boat from Jaws.
Yes.
It's amazing!
It really is a good boat.
It really is a good model. And you get a hell of a lot of parts in every pack so far. Like, you get a good amount to build. Like,
Should
you
we
get
look
a
at this pack?
substantial.
Look how much stuff
Yeah,
is in
but
here.
let's stop flapping my lips. Let's show them what we get.
So this is
Let's
pack
open it up.
4. This is going to be, this is stages 14 through 18. So there's 5 stages in this one. Another ORCA paper.
Yes.
And look at all the stuff we get in here. We get the front windows. So those are the front windows for the cabin. So we're going to put all that together. These are books. So we're going to start working on some of the interior details. Here's a look at a Johnson & Johnson first aid kit.
That's pretty awesome. That's my favorite thing in this pack so far.
Right? I think it's a little toolbox and then the middle stages of this are all going to be building the mast.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff on here. We have the lookout hoops. We have the spreaders. We have, this is called a triadica or something?
I don't know. Well, that's where Sheriff Brody was like leaning with his like 30-06 rifle when he blew up the air tank in Jaws' mouth.
Yeah, these are called lookout hoops. If anybody's ever wondering, there'll be steps that go up the side of the mast all the way to the top, and you would sit on the spreader, or you could stand on these hoops, or sit on these hoops, and that's where the bee would look out. So that's
where the shot heard around Amity Island was shot from.
This is I guess what do we call this? Bubble Pack 12, and then 13, which I assume is also numbered. There it is, 13. This is all the mast stuff. So there's just, it's a big piece of mast. Looks like a flute, doesn't it? Kind of looks like a flute.
It does look like a dirty flute.
Yeah, here's the steps and the plugs, and there's lights. We're going to be putting lights in.
There's micro LEDs, by the way. First time I've seen these in a part work.
Yeah. This is the binoculars, little itty-bitty binoculars case there. Little binoculars case.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it should be fun. So you want to we'll get the parts out for stage 14. We'll get ready.
And we're back. We've got our lower cabins here that we've built in the previous episode. And we've got the windscreen area. And it's a couple of these clear panels. And we're going to do like we did before. We're going to leave the outside film on so they have a nice hazy finish. And then
so this is step 1. These are 10D. There's 2 of them. They're both identical. These are 10C. There's also 2 of these that are identical. And this is 10B. This is also identical. So
easy peasy.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter which one you start with. I'm just going to peel off the film on one side, and in my case, it's going to be the inside.
And we're going to want more B7000.
Yeah, because we're working next to clear plastic. So
yeah.
And then this is going to be the outside. So we're going to lay this over the pins. There's 6 pins that lays on.
I need my eyeballs.
Like that. My clean side on the inside. We're going to give that a real quick wipe to make sure I didn't put any fingerprints on it. And then all that's going to happen is we're going to take one of these, and it has 6 holes in the back that are going to fit onto the 6 pins. Now, there are grooves, little half circular, semicircular grooves on either side that are for these pins. So when they fit together, it'll go just like this. And we're just going to sandwich that plastic in between. We're going to glue these pins to keep these parts together. But we are not going to use CA glue. We're going to use our B7000.
Gravity magic rubber.
And remember from the previous episode, this stuff is very stringy.
Yeah, just a tiny little dot.
A tiny little dot, and when you do that, drag the nozzle away. So if it leaves any strings, it won't go across your window.
Yeah, drag it on a piece of the window you're not going to see. There we go. We'll get one on there. I'm going to easy squeezy the other side of the frame down. And if you want to be OCD like me, you can clamp it.
Yeah, I'll throw a couple little clamps on this guy. Why not?
You got some new clamps recently, didn't you, buddy?
Yeah, you sent me new clamps. Those are great, but they're in the
You
other
packed
room.
them?
Yeah, they're in a box because I am
That's
in the
fine.
middle of. I'm happy to even have the. I'm gonna clamp the edges of these to make sure this stays nice and flat. And then we'll put the other one together, and this will be dry.
Todd is moving to a new secret, slightly above ground lair.
Yes, the lab is moving. You should see everything around this camera. Like this whole wall is emptied out. Everything over here is a disaster. Yeah. So while that's drying, we'll go ahead and prep the other one.
Did you see that that Facebook short I sent you about somebody trying to clean their Legos on the shelf?
Oh no. No.
And they bent down and they found one piece on the floor and had like a heart attack.
Uh-huh.
Like, I can imagine that's going to be you.
Yeah. Again, clear side on the inside. Just going to put a little bit of the B7000 on the pins.
Yep. No crazy glue, people. Seriously, don't do it.
Yeah,
like we want.
I'll even show you because
hazy.
I use old parts plastic, like little clamshells from other builds and stuff, as glue trays. And you can see it right here where the glue has evaporated. See that cloudiness? That's from the gassing.
Yep.
That cloudiness is all from the glue that was sitting in there, just off gassing, and it just makes that haze, and it will mar the plastic, and then it won't be clear anymore. So
if you're fans of CSI, that's how they pick up fingerprints, is the haziness from the crazy glue.
Yeah, it sticks to the oils in your fingerprints.
Yeah, and it makes everything ugly when it dries. It'll even, haze colored plastic, but you can paint over that. Clear, you're kind of out of luck.
Yeah, I try not to use CA anywhere near clear plastic. I used it on the front of my DeLorean because I thought, oh, that'll be easy. I'll just get that in there. And I think I was gluing the EL rope mod or something, the flux bands.
Oh, no.
And the little black holders. And I didn't even think about it. And, well, it hazed everything over there. So that was...
Oh, dear.
That was good times.
Yeah, we've all done it.
Yeah, I had to scrape it all off and then try to repaint the black, and it's never the same again, but I figured it out.
I've destroyed a model or two in my day with crazy glue haze.
Yep.
So now,
and there will be a link to this in our description, just like we did in the last episode. I did get my XF76, by the way. It showed up today.
Oh, you got it. Nice.
So I have the gray-green Tamiya, which is this color, or very close match to the exterior, this exterior boat color. Let's give this. We'll be right back. We'll let this dry because it takes a little while for the B7000 to set. So we'll be right back.
Okay. Well, we've had our windows gluing up for a little bit. Todd's already taken off his clamps. I'm a little behind the curve, as usual in life.
Yeah. Well, he's taking that off. I'll explain. So these windows are identical. They're the same. The pins on each end fit in these divots of this front window frame. This guy here, which is 10A. So we just drop these in here, just like so. Like that. Yep. And then we're going to cover the center with this little guy, which is actually from Blister Pack Section 12.
Yes.
And it fits this way. This is the top. So when we put this in, it has a groove down the middle. You see that groove there? That groove's going to fit over this rib, and it's just going to drop in there like that. We're going to glue that in place.
Yeah, but don't put the glue too far up. You don't want to squeeze it into the hinges.
Yeah, I would probably not even glue this upper part. I would maybe put some glue on the rib because you don't want to.
Just the bottom.
These windows are designed to be opened, so maybe just glue this part down here. So that's what we're going to do. And you can use CA for this. I think it's far enough away from the windows. So,
well, you could also open your windows while it's drying.
Yeah. Oh my glue
also assist. There we go.
Yeah, watch what he's doing because I had to find my
rib gluing in. right there. I put glue from basically right here down to here, right in the center rib. And that's all we're going to do. And I'm going to, like, Todd hates zip kicker.
Yeah, he's gonna zip kick because that's what he does.
Todd's going to blip.
Yeah.
He likes making that little barfy noise.
I do not like the smell of zip kicker. I really don't.
Oh,
glue all this back
the
here.
smell of zip kicker in the afternoon. It smells like victory.
And then we'll just drop this guy right on there.
Yeah.
Give him a little squeeze. Make sure both the windows can move. Yes.
Yes.
Now the outside hinges are going to be captured when we do the next step, which is to mount it on the front of our cabin. So
yes,
we can explain while this is drying. There's 2 holes on either side of this. Those holes fit onto these pins. So there's 2 pins on either side of this. And then these 4 raised studs down here, these raised holes,
go right onto here.
They fit onto these 3 posts.
Yeah.
So that should be good
we
enough.
Could go ahead and throw a tiny bit of glue down there, I think.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw a little glue on there.
I got a fingerprint on my window. Hold, please.
Oh, no. Someone needs a tissue.
Yeah. Yeah. So we will throw some glue on these pins. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I threw a little glue on the pins, and now I'm throwing on the PWB 2x3x6 screws. I'll start with the center and work my way out. And then we're going to have some more clamping action happening very quickly. Get these screws in fast. Or you could glue after the fact, I suppose. You could just sneak in a little micro tube on the tip of your crazy glue.
We're going to drop that on there and lock it on these pins. And I'm going to just hold this as I do.
As you do, as one does.
Because I want this to be a nice tight gap, which is probably what you're going to use clamps for. But
yeah, I'm just going to clamp it.
That's going to be a nice tight hold. So
that's how Todd likes it.
I'm just holding both sides of this to make sure that the gap on the side here is as
nice
tight as we can make it. Yeah.
And if anybody wants to see the proper prototype of this model, I would suggest coming to the Agora Models booth at the IPMS Nationals in Fort Wayne, Indiana, August 5th through 8th, 2026.
So they're flying over from the UK. They're bringing the ORCA?
I would assume they'd bring the ORCA, but at the very least, yeah, they can't not bring the ORCA. They're probably going to bring the ORCA. That's the coolest. Like, they're going to have the ORCA. They'll probably have they'll have the Jurassic Park, Ford Explorer. Who knows what else they'll have?
Did you notice the little gold piano hinge?
Yeah, the little piano hinge is nice. Like, Todd picked it up before.
I thought it looked nice. All right. So
I was looking at the instructions and thought it was a separate part, but it's just painted on. It's so much simpler.
Yeah, by the way, these screws that they're telling you to use are the leftovers from the previous stages, from the previous pack. So hopefully you kept your spare screws.
One of us might have misplaced some of them.
Yeah.
Luckily,
that guy.
I have many partwork models I'm working on, so those PWB 2x3x6 screws are plentiful in my basement. I could just shake through any.
Well, had we known, I would have mentioned it in the Pack 3 video, which got released just recently. So, if I had known, I would have mentioned it. I would have said, keep. Yeah. But now we know if you have any screws left over, keep them because they're probably needed on a later stage.
Yeah,
one spare is normal.
Jewel organizers on Amazon. These are great for keeping your screws.
2, 3. These are 2x3x6, 2.3x6 PWBs.
Flange head.
3 of those. Yeah, little flange heads. And that way we have this. I think that's how it looks. Okay.
I think
that way we have our seam is good. And that completes stage, what is this?
14.
14. Yes, we're at stage 14. That gets
we're going to go over to 15 next.
Front windows off, and that's it. And you can open them. Look at that. Pop them open if you want, and they'll stay open.
Yep.
Or you can close them. There you go.
They are a nice, snug snap fit. It's nice. I like it.
Yeah, there's a stop. That piece we glued on there has a little ledge to stop the windows from going inside.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that is
they'll
quite
stop right
nice. I like that.
All right, on to the next.
Okay, so we're back. This is glued in, and we're getting started on stage 15. We've got the first two parts of our mast here. So this one is very easy to spot. It's got that McNubbin out the side, and
They're
this
also
one
numbered.
has a silver. Yeah, they are. They are numbered.
So all
1 and
six
2.
there's 6 mast pieces. This one's not 1. The 2 is kind of hard, but it's in the black. 3.
Yeah.
That's all we need for.
There's
we just
3.
need the first 3 for this stage.
Yep. Correct, Todd.
And in step 1, what they're going to have us do is test the lights. But real quick, so these are also the only things you need from the first blister pack are this is called a triadic, and the wire labels. Everything else comes from the second blister pack, but we are going to need to get these wires, which are very nicely protected in these tubes.
Yeah, the tubes are amazing. These are the tiniest little fairy light micro LEDs I've ever seen in the part work.
They are super, super tiny LEDs. So we're going
They're
to grab
so
those.
tiny. I need glasses just to see them.
And we're going to grab these. These are different. One has 1 LED and one has 2 LEDs on it. And what we're going to do is, the first thing before we even test these is I want to be able to make it easier for us and the viewers to identify them, is grab the one with a single LED, and we're going to make that number 9.
Yes.
So
the one
about
with 2
10
is
millimeters
number 10.
back, 1 centimeter back, one whatever. About a centimeter back. We're just going to label the first single LED wire with a 9.
Hey, so Todd,
yes, sir.
We going to Telford?
I would love to go back to Telford.
You want to do Telford? I want to do Telford.
I didn't go. I mean, Telford was cool, but I really wanted to go see all the people. That was the best part.
So did I. I went to see Wayne and Mike Lane and the Agora people and all the viewers in the UK and your website patrons and like so that was the best part.
Yeah. So the one with 2 wires, we're going to label as 10. Now we can test them. So we'll grab our test board.
I have tested number 10, but I don't know how to untangle it. I'm completely helpless.
We'll test number 9. Again, this is that single 2-pin port right here. Make sure your polarity is good. Plug that little bad boy in, and you get a light. Tiny light.
Yeah, it's brighter than you think, though.
It is very bright, but I want to let people know, be very, very careful with these. It is incredibly easy to break a wire off of the solder. Off these tiny micro LEDs. Just be very careful when you're handling it around the end of it. Just take your time and be patient. You'll be fine. So let's plug the second one in. Pretend
it's made of cotton candy. Like it's so delicate.
And there's our 2 lights on the other one.
I can't even explain how insanely fine these wires are.
Yeah. And when we mount them too, if you look at them, you can tell which, because the one side is the back and one is the front. If you look at it, you can see where the circuit board is. You can tell where it's hard on the camera. The camera blows this out, but I can tell this one's facing away from me, this one over here, and this one's facing towards me. You'll tell when you look at it.
I would say have it plugged into the test board while you're mounting it in the light housing.
Sure,
so you can see do that. And make sure that the LED is, facing in the correct direction.
Yeah.
And this
is the mast light. So this is the mid-mast light. We're going to put this in with this smaller lens. These 2 big lenses are the downlights. They go up higher on the mast, up on the spreader. All we're going to need is this lens, this smaller one. We'll get to that in a second.
Oh my Lord!
Because this was stage 1 and stage 2, and I believe even that was stage 1. Yeah, stage 1, stage 2.
Oh, geez, these are horribly thin wires.
Yeah,
they're terrifyingly thin.
Yeah, don't break them.
If anyone will, you know me, I'm going to screw it up, but I'll try not to. I'm just saying.
Our single wire, and I'm just going to let gravity do the work here to separate our double wires, because we're going to have to feed these wires up the mast.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be fun.
It's going to be so much fun.
Well, it's the only way to do this model proper justice is to use these micro thin wires with micro LEDs so we can have all those cool spotlights in the mast. There's really no other practical way to do it. And to get them through tiny holes and to hide the wires and
Yeah, you can't
like
at this
Agora
scale.
went
You
above and
can't you
beyond.
can't do it with 3 mil or 5 mil typical LEDs, and to hide them correctly, right? So to
Or
hide
even
the
on a
wiring
PC,
and so
even
on.
on a miniature PCB, you can't. It's got to be a bare micro LED on like razor hair thin wire to fit into these housings.
All right, so we labeled the single LED with 9. We labeled the double LED with 10.
Yes. Yes.
Identify the first 3 parts of the mast. They are again numbered 1 and 2 and 3. We're going to start with 1. That's the bottom.
Okay, so 13G, the single wire we want.
I'm
right?
pretty sure both are going to end up going through here.
Okay.
So I'm going to do probably the double wire first because that takes up the most room. Be very careful. Grab the tips of these, and we're going to feed them up through the bottom, which is not the post end, but this big end.
The number 1.
These LEDs up through here. Number 1.
Yeah.
Yep. Mast section number 1.
Man. Okay. We're going.
That barrel is restricted at the end. Oh, this is going to be fun.
Oh, got him. It got me. Come on. Oh,
got it. There we go.
I
don't know if it's beveled in there, but if they were smart, they would have beveled the ledge right here to be inside to be it. But they did pop through. I just gave them a little bit of
there's only so motivation much you can do with injection molding,
Yep. And then we're gonna.
Oh no! It came out a hole in the side.
No,
what am I doing?
So we want to. Then I'm going to send the signal up here.
Oh wait! I got them both out. Okay.
All right. Now comes the fun part. Which one is which?
No, well, the 2 wires are much longer than the single wire.
Yeah, but I'm also going to do something a little more visible. Is I'm going to take a Sharpie and I'm just going to mark. I'm going to put black on the single wire LED. But you're right. The wires are different lengths. So
way longer.
Yeah.
Okay. So we want the short one here.
So we can pull these all the way through. I think you want it until basically these extensions.
Yep.
The wire. Right. These guys are just at the base of the mast, just like this.
Yep. That sounds about right, Todd. And then we want to shove all 3 through the number 2 tube.
Mm-hmm. So just the same as before. Start with the long ones because they're the longest.
Take your time.
Yeah.
Go gentle.
We're not in a rush here.
Go gentle.
And we're going to feed these up through here. Less talking, more breath holding.
A lot of breath holding. Okay, so that's got a groove in it. That's fine.
I got 1. Let's see if I can get the other one.
I got the 2 through. Let me try to get the 1.
I can see it in there. I see it. If I can see it, I can just barely nudge it along. Come on, little guy. Where's my... So I use ceramic tip tweezers because metal tweezers can break, are a little more less delicate. I'm going to see if I can just lightly grab that wire.
I feel like my urologist in 12 years. Trying to thread a catheter somewhere in me.
Oh, gross.
I'm just saying. I mean,
but true story, I imagine. So let's pull these wires through.
What are you gonna say?
And then we're gonna grab the shorter single, and we're gonna route that up there as well.
Trying. Why is my single not making it to the top? Come on, little guy. You can do it. I got him. Okay.
I see it.
I got it. Okay.
I see it.
And then we're gonna.
I got him.
We're gonna push a tube in there. So now we've got 2 long micro LEDs and 1 short. And if it's anything I'm obsessed with, which Todd has now known about for a while, it's retesting LEDs every time you manipulate them
Yeah.
to make sure they light up.
Now, so we're going to glue these two mast pieces together, but there is an alignment tab and a slot. So these are eventually going to fit together just like that. So they can only go together the right way. We are going to glue those, but before we glue them, I agree with Ian, is that we should test these LEDs once again.
Yes, always retest your LEDs every step.
Yeah,
every step of the way.
You know, with electronics, it's always safer just to
well,
be
these
sure.
These are so also tiny. The most delicate LEDs I've ever seen on a part work model in my entire existence.
These are super tiny, but I appreciate it. So 10,
yeah,
I get 2 LEDs on 10, and you saw 9 light up earlier, so we're good to go.
And if you're going on vacation in England and you need plastic straws and you don't want to deal with those melting paper straws, here's 2 to put in your to-go bag, in your carry-on, to fly to other countries with, so you always have a plastic straw. I would say just blast it out in the sink in your hotel room at the end of the night and reuse it. Keep it in your pocket.
That's right. So
nobody likes paper straws. We're going to glue this now?
We are going to glue these 2 mast pieces together.
All right. I'm going to throw a little glue on there.
I'm going to put some dots in like 3 spots, and I'm going to get just in case I squirt any out, I'm going to get a cotton swab, or what do they call these over? What do they call these over? Cotton bud? Is that what they call them over in the
cotton bud? I think swab is universally accepted.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to ask Wayne, or like I'll ask James at Agora. Is it swab or cotton bud?
I would hold these together. They do have a little bit of wiggle to them. I would definitely hold these together to make sure this mast goes together straight.
Yeah, well,
so I'm just holding the pieces together. I'm giving them a slight rotate in my hand just to make sure they look like they're going to be straight, because I do definitely like pieces to straight. We can probably put it on the table and make sure it's straight.
Give them like 5 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi. If you don't say Mississippi while counting, the magic doesn't work. I say that at work like at least once a week.
Yeah, we'll give that about maybe less than a minute to dry.
Let's take a quick break here.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
All right, we're back, and we're going to put in number 9 LED, which is the single LED, into this little spotlight housing right here. So what we're going to do...
Slightly different. Yeah. The instructions would have you cut this off and then put it on the back of this while you run the LED up this groove. So the wires, the LED, I'm trying to get the light in here, but the groove will go up through here, and you can see there's a groove on the back of this as well. And the LED is going to go in here. We're going to do it a little differently.
No bueno.
We're going to take this LED, because it has to sit right there. And to make sure that this LED is facing the right way, I'm going to use a little bit of resin. So I have some solar res, UV resin. You could probably do this with a drop of super glue. You just got to work quicker. And I'm going to keep it on the sprue. Yeah, with some kicker. And I'm just going to put a little drop in there. I'm going to hold this LED, and we're going to plug it in. That way we can see. Where's my board? Hello? Here.
Hello?
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 Yeah, we're going to plug the light in so I can see which side of the LED it's supposed to be facing. I'm going to grab the resin. I like to get a little paper towel, just clean it off. And I have a needle. And all I'm going to do is put a little drop. I'm basically going to fill this just like that.
And use a UV light.
And I'll zoom in for this. You guys can watch how I do this.
Oh, I'm giving my fingers a sunburn.
Yeah, you probably are.
This light is way too bright for human use.
Yeah. So if you look at this light, if you spin it around, you'll see that there's a back. I can see the back right there. Okay, so we just want this light to be nice and centered, and I just basically pop it in there so it's sitting in the resin, and then we're going to zap it with a UV flashlight. So it's sitting in the resin, it's nice and centered in the housing, the wires are in the groove, and we're just going to zap it with some UV.
I'm going to put a little drop of resin on top of it also.
Sure. Just not enough to get the lens, because we have to put the lens on it.
There we go.
And that'll bind it in there. And then what I'll do is, like he said, is we'll put... This thing is blinding me. I need to turn it off.
Yeah, I unplugged mine like 30 seconds ago. I'm like, I can't stare at this thing any longer. I have hot
Yeah.
spots in my eyes right now, like I'm watching nuclear fallout.
Yeah, then I'm going to cover this LED with another little bubble of resin.
Yep, I put a little drop of resin on top of it and hit it again with the flashlight.
And then I'll show this to you. It glows. It's funny because the LEDs glow under black light. You can see it glow. So we're just going to let that cook for about 15 seconds. I like Solar Res because it is very fast.
It goes off quick.
It heats up a little bit, but this flashlight's almost dead, so this is going to take a little longer.
Well, this one is the UV Beast. If you want like the ultimate UV resin curing flashlight, whether you're doing like UV resin out of a bottle or you want a hand cure or a UV print or putty or anything.
All right, now I'm going to back up.
Get the big boy.
I can come up close to the camera. So that is now locked into the back of that with a bead of UV resin.
Yep.
So now
all good.
Excuse me. We can remove these from the sprue. This is actually step 7 here, is to remove this from the sprue.
Yes.
Cut that from the sprue, and we're going to cut this guy.
Make sure there's no lip. Oh, there's a little bit of a lip from that sprue
from the gate.
Tree. Yeah, the little bit of a gate. You want to trim that off, probably.
I just use a glass file. We'll just file any little piece of the sprue that's on there. Get rid of that.
Yep.
And then this guy, especially when it comes to round parts, they like to, since the gate is rectangular, we'll just round that back off. Just like that. And then this, again, the groove that's going to follow this is the wire is going to go down the groove. So this is going to end up going in the back of that, just like so. And that way the wires will go down that groove. And we're going to glue this together.
I got to watch Todd right now because I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Just like that.
Let me see here.
With the wires coming out the back and the groove. So we're going to glue that.
Yep. How are we gluing that?
Oh, I'm just going to use CA. Just let it dry.
Oh, yeah. There's no lens yet.
No, the lens is the next step. We're going to put the lens in the front.
Yeah, let's get a little CA on the edge of this thing.
Just like that.
Well,
squeeze that together real good. And there's our light.
Let's let it clamp for a minute. I'm gonna
and while he's clamping, I mentioned earlier, there's 3 lenses on this sprue. This is 13S. The 2 big ones are for the downlights. We want this smaller one.
Yes.
So we'll clip that off. I usually clip these off, like normally I would clip things off very straight. A lot of times with circle stuff, I cut it as an angle. And I do that on purpose so I can file it back to a circle. And I just have to file off the high spot that I made. Let's make it round again.
Oof, little zip kicker. Smelly.
There you go. There's our lens. And again, because it's clear, we'll glue my lens in with B7000.
Yes, indeed.
This is gonna be our step 8, is putting the lens in. I'm gonna blow on my glue a little bit more just so it doesn't fog.
Todd likes blowing on his glue.
I really do.
I've got a blower for your glue, Todd.
Gross.
Whoa! Hold on, I just destroyed the desk. Okay, too much power. Sorry, overdid it.
Karma's a bitch there, Ian. You deserve that.
I totally Tim the tool man, the tailored that one. But yeah. Power.
It does seem like there is one beveled side to this lens. There's a flat side and a convex side.
There is indeed.
We want the convex side to face out.
Yep.
So I'll put a little. We're going to put a little B7000 just inside this lip. There's a lip inside here. We're just going to.
We need to give this a minute to dry. Oh, too much. It'll be fine. It dries clear. Ish. There we go.
Do that, and then I'm going to push that in with not my finger.
Oh, that's the opposite of what I did. You're a smart man, Todd. Smarter than
If I
I.
use my finger, it's going to stick to everything. So I'm just using a cloth to push that in.
Here we go. My lights all together and lit up. Quite nice.
Searchlight, and if we plug that back in, so if you guys do want to get blinded, we can plug that back in.
Yes.
And there's our little searchlight.
Owies, owies.
Yes. And now this is going to fit down. So the wires with the 2 LEDs, and we can leave this lit just so you can see which one I'm working on. These double LEDs should stay inside the post, and this one is going to slide down in this notch. So we're going to run the wires down that groove that's in that post, and this is going to sit right there.
Yeah, you want to make sure those 2 wires are all the way at the bottom of that groove.
See how my wires
there.
are coming out? We don't want that. We want those wires to get pulled out, even if we have to pull these wires from the bottom.
Yeah, so you tug them out just gently.
Yeah.
And before you glue anything, test your light again.
I did left
Although
mine
it's
on.
kind of too late now. There we go. It still works. Very good. And now what are we going to do, Todd? I guess we just CA glue.
I'm going to glue my light in. That part is going to get glued in right in that little notch there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that real quick.
Put a little tiny bit of CA on there.
This is going to take us through step 9, by the way.
Oh my God, this is a good amount of work here. This model's got a lot of stuff going on. This one we just got to hold. There's no way to clamp this easily. I mean, there is, but there isn't. Oh, I love it. I love it, Todd. I love it. Our little spotlight.
Just don't make sure when you're gluing this, you're not gluing the other wires. The other 4 wires should be able to move behind this.
Yeah, make sure they still slide back. I would say slide them back and forth while your CA glue is setting, because if at least you're moving them, they won't set into place. Like, you can still just pull them back and forth every few seconds. And if you're very impatient like I am, you could use a little zip kicker. There we go. Perfect. Although very smelly.
There's our little light. And these wires are still free to move. So we just don't want them getting caught by any glue or trapped underneath the Midmast light. All right, I'm going to
make sure they slide easy peasy through the tube.
That's right.
This is kind of fun. You ever clean a flute?
No.
Very similar.
It does feel like we're building a flute. It does.
Yeah, I mean, when you get the tension and you get stuck in band class at the tension, you're just like cleaning saxophones and flutes and trumpets and trombones the whole damn time.
Do you remember all those brasses would have the drains that you blew all the spit out of?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I played trumpet. We all had our spit traps.
Yeah. So we're going to grab the mast part number 3, the 2 free LEDs on the long wire. We're going to, just like before, we're going to...
How the hell are they fitting through there?
Very, 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 very carefully.
My God.
I got 2. That wasn't bad.
All right, let's see.
It has to be beveled on the inside.
Or you just got really lucky. Oh, I got them both through. First try.
I told you. It wasn't that bad.
Surprisingly easy.
And just like before, we're going to take these 2 parts of the mast and we're going to bring 2 and 3 together and we're going to glue this seam. Just make sure those wires don't get trapped. They should be in the center, so they're not getting trapped as we do this. So I'm going to get them close to that. Feeding the wires up is step 10, and then closing up that is going to be the end of step 10.
Wow. Wow. We're really building a model here.
Yeah,
like, this doesn't feel like your run-of-the-mill part work. This is proper model building. We're really feeding some microfine wires. This is cool. I like it. A little more challenging. Not hard, but it's making you feel like you're doing some work. I like it.
And then just like before, I'm going to hold these pieces strong against each other so they stay aligned. We want our mast to be straight.
Yeah, mine might lean a little to the left or right, but as is life.
Oh, just like your personal mast.
Yes, my personal mast could barely hoist a Puffs Plus.
And that's why these are not rated for kids. These videos.
Oh no, not at all. I'm not saying anything particularly descriptive.
Yeah, so we have a good length of the wire, probably a good, I don't know, there's about 7 inches of the wire still coming out the top. There's actually more we could give it if we wanted to, because these are not fully at the bottom.
Yeah.
There's still a good amount of wire here.
Well, number 9 has got a good amount of slack on it.
Sure.
So
what we're going to do is we're going to go on to, step 11 is to run those wires through this hole of this is called the triadic. I don't know why, but it's called the triadic. We need to run them through the hole here. So we're just going to feed those LEDs through the hole. Does this have a top or a bottom?
Does this have a particular, I was about to say, is there an up or down? I don't know. Not sure if there's an up or down.
It is symmetrical, so
there's not.
Doesn't matter
this
which
is the
way it
easiest thing to fish lights through so far. Thank goodness. Yeah. Does it have a notch? Nothing.
No.
Wait. Hold on.
It's going to fit over this raised lip right here.
Yeah.
And it needs to be on the side with the Midmast light. So the triadic. The same side as the light, right? So the base of this triangle needs to be on the same side of this.
Oh, no, it only goes one way. It's got a wider opening, beveled. I think, on one side.
Yeah, I just noticed that. It doesn't want to go on that way. So if it doesn't work, flip it around.
If it doesn't fit, flip it over. Yeah. That's what... Oh, God, there's so many jokes.
Just like that. Now it does have a specific way. I think the inside of this is beveled. And it fits on there perfectly fine.
It's got a wider opening on one side than the other.
Yeah, the triangle should be on the side with the light.
Get a little bit of
that way. So we're going to glue that in.
CA on there. I'm just going to hold my mast down and push down directly straight on this triadic, as Todd calls it.
The triadic.
The triadic.
I saw it referenced in a shipbuilding site, and I'm like, wow, that sounds right. It looks like something because it's triangle shaped.
This is what Todd does. He reads so much additional material.
Well, you know what I was actually looking for, interestingly enough, was the 2 hoops that are at the top of the mast. I thought maybe those were for radios or something. I didn't realize that they can be easily misinterpreted as mast hoops, and mast hoops are different. Mast hoops ride up and down the mast to hold sails for the forward sail, and they slide up and down like a curtain rod, right? But these hoops are up here and they sit on either side. They're actually lookout hoops where you would stand or sit.
Oh, I said spotter, but yeah, lookout. Yep, that works.
Now I'm going to make sure this is perpendicular to my mast, and it is. Okay.
We always want everything perpendicular to our mast.
That's right. Guess what? That, my friends,
is
the end of the stage. That's it. We have the first 3 pieces of the mast built. We got our mid-mast light on. We got our triadic installed. We got the 2 LEDs coming out the top. These are going to go on the spreaders, or the downlights that are on the spreader. We have the wires coming out the bottom, and much more to come in the next stage. But that completes 15.
Going easier than I thought, to be honest.
That's right. Let's move on, shall we?
We'll be right back. Let's get our parts ready.
All right. This is all the parts we need for stage 16. We're going to need the mast from the previous one. We're going to need part 4 of the mast, marked part 4. We're going to need the 2, these are the downlights. These are the barrels for the downlights. We also need the backs for the downlights. We're going to put those aside for right now. We also need the lenses for the downlights, the 2 that are remaining on this sprue. We're going to put those aside. And this is the spreader and the spreader ends. So these are going to come up here soon. We'll put that to the side. We'll focus on one. And this, we're actually going to need these 2 foam strips that are in here. This strap, we need to hang on to that. That's for the binocular case, which will be in the last stage of this pack.
Oh, yeah.
But we're going to come back to this. So just get that ready. And we're, we are who we are. So, of course, we're going to do something different. Anyway, yes. Just like we've been doing before, we need to take 2. Step 1 is to take these wires and feed them up this new part of this next part of the mast. The hole keeps getting smaller at the end,
Yep.
Oh, I see one. I see one. Well, I have one.
Is this number 4 we're going through?
This is the mast piece number 4. Oh, well, that actually isn't that bad. The 2 of them came right out.
Wiggle, wiggle, jiggle, jiggle.
And as before, there's a notch and a slot, a tap and a slot, so these are going to fit each other. Just make sure you don't pin, again, you don't want to pinch these wires. You should be able to pull these wires through the whole of the mast, all the way out the bottom and through the top. And once you're happy with that, we can glue this together.
I'm not happy.
You're not. Well, you're never happy. Yet. Are you ever happy?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh my God! One of my wires came out a random hole in the side.
Nice.
It went out a side hole. On its own little quest. Oh, I got both the wires. Okay, I got them.
And pinch these together real good.
And they slide in and out.
Make sure they stay straight. We want our mast to be straight.
We need a little bit of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend glue here. All right, we're gluing this on.
Yep. I just want to make sure it's straight. Every little piece you add.
Just like any father in the Midwest. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Man, there's a lot of holes in this mast. There's going to be a lot of foot pegs. I mean, I see them in the parts tray, but my God. We're going to be here all night. We're just going to zip through those.
It shouldn't be that bad. They're all indexed, so you know which, because they alternate. The steps go on either side, and there's plugs that go up the other side, so it shouldn't be too bad. But we're going to let this. I'm going to let this dry, and we'll be right back.
All right, everybody, we're back, and we've got our mast section number 4 glued down, nice and straight. Make sure she's even on the vertical, the horizontal, and the lateral, and the longitude and latitude, whatever the hell you're using as measurements, but nice and straight. And then we got to get this little spreader guy on here. And there's some grooves on the top, and there's a notch in the hole.
Yeah.
So you want
there's a couple different ways to identify this. The bottom of it has the injection pin marks. It also has these little tiny slots. These slots right here are where the wires for the downlight LEDs are going to go, just so you can know where they are in advance. And like he said, you can see that the hole in the center does have a notched end. And what do you think? The notched end is going to fit right over this tab on the end of the end of mast number 4.
Slide our little LEDs in the center of there.
Yep, feed those right through here.
This has a lot of play.
Yeah. So this, once this slides on here, it does. It has a lot of movement. It can go this way. It can go this way, rotationally. And this is going to be glued, and we're going to glue it now. But when it glues, we want this to be absolutely perpendicular. So it should be perpendicular to the mast. If you're looking at it, so this is the mast. This is the back of the mast looking forward, I think. Or is this light at the front or the back? Maybe it's the back.
I don't know. I think it's the back for the fishing deck.
I would think so too. But either way is you want it to be perpendicular this way, so it's a perfect T with the mast. And then from side to side, you don't want this to be rotational either. This should be perfectly centered.
Yeah,
so
perfect T.
We're gonna
glue
it and make it a perfect T. And we'll probably have to hold it for this one.
Yeah, I've put a dab of glue while you were
Yeah.
explaining things, and I'm holding mine down vertically and keeping it dead level. I'm staring at it like a guy in a van near a school. I'm just staring at it, not blinking. Don't blink. It'll go
Yeah,
crooked.
don't blink.
Don't blink. Keep your eyes wide open. Pretend you're an owl. Owls do blink on occasion, though. You know that?
They do.
They do.
You know what I'm also going to do? I'm going to put glue on the base part of this. This base
Owls
surface
are adorable.
where it touches the mast. If you take all their feathers off, though, you ever seen a featherless owl?
I've never seen such a weird thing. No.
Yeah, it's kind of a
Creepy?
disaster. Yeah.
Oh, no. Owls are like the baby puppies and kittens of like birds. They're so adorable. And they're also deadly hunters.
They're very good.
Like we had an owl in our backyard when our first bulldog was a puppy, and my mother-in-law was like, "Get your gun and shoot the owl." I'm like, "I'm not shooting that pretty beautiful owl. It's a majestic, adorable creature." She's like, "He'll take." I'm like, "If this owl could fly off with a 30-pound bulldog puppy, he deserved it. He earned that meal." Like, there's no way an owl's flying off with an English bulldog. It's not happening. All right. I think our cross post is on there
really
pretty
needs
well.
to dry. So I got this in a nice tee, and I also looked at the end of it, and I just want to make sure, basically, you can make sure it's parallel with this. So when you look at the end of it, just make sure it's parallel with this flat surface of the triadic.
Yeah, mine looks pretty good.
Which I put it on my desk, and I'm looking down the end of it.
Yep. She looks good. She looks like a biplane with landing gear.
It does look like a biplane. I noticed that. So
yeah, there you go.
We're going to let this dry, and we're going to prepare the next part, which is to run the wires out for the downlights. So we'll be right back again.
All right. So we're starting on step 3. Our spreader bar is nicely, firmly affixed and level and plumb in every direction that I can see with my broken eyes.
Right.
It looks okay to me. Right? Close enough for government work.
Yeah, now we're going to take our wires, and we're going to light wires, and we're going to feed them down right next to the mast on either side.
You got to go down. Oh, hold on. I need my eyeballs on again.
Now, when you do this, there's a slot in this mast, and the wires are going to get tucked down that as you pull.
Yeah, look at Todd's screen for that detail.
Because we want to pull them down so they're down towards the bottom down here. We want them down there.
We don't want
because,
to
and if you really want to kind of squeeze them in place, you can grab the next piece of mast. Just don't push very hard. So the next piece is 5. And you can kind of push on it a little bit, and it'll push those wires down to the bottom. And then, as I drop it, on each side, the wires are just going to route through these notches. Those notches I pointed out earlier. So we're going to route them over and through the notch, which is where they're eventually going to be. Now we're going to attach the downlights to these LEDs.
We have a lot of slack right now.
Yeah, so there's a lot of slack, but they're going to end up in that spot. But we're going to end up pulling the slack back down the mast, and that's where these wires are going to end up. So we did something a little different for the downlights. Normally they would have us that completes that moving those wires. It's a step 4. Step 5 is moving the other side. So in step 6, what they would have us do is take these foam strips. If I can find where's my X-Acto knife?
I've got one right here.
Well, that doesn't help me at all, does it?
It doesn't help you at all, no. It really doesn't.
And what they would want us to do is there's 2 foam strips here. You would peel these off, and they want us to wrap these around the tip of right below the LED. So you would wrap this around the LED just underneath the actual bulb there. And you wrap it around until it basically spirals around the LED, and that's meant to be a plug. And that plug would then be inserted into the back of one of these buckets, these light buckets. I didn't want to do that. And I convinced him not to do it. And then it would just get pushed in the back here, and the foam would basically keep this light in the center. I didn't want to do that. We did a couple different things. One is we took these buckets, and it's going to be very hard to see, but I used my AK chrome pen. I think he used his Molotov pen, and we chromed the inside of these buckets just to act as kind of a reflector. And what's important about these is this little notch. See that little notch right there? That notch is where the wires are going to have to come out. So what we did is to hold the LED in place is I took the backs of these downlights, these two guys here, which is 13M, and the buckets are 12F. And what we're going to do is I took some of that black tack that we used in the previous issues, and I just filled that hole. And what we're going to do is these have a matching tab, and it's going to be very hard for the camera to pick up. But right there, there's a tab on the sides of each one of these. That tab is meant for this matching slot. And that slot goes down the side inside of this bucket as well. The wires need to come up through that slot. So what I'm going to do is we're going to, and I might be able to zoom in for this. Maybe it'll help. We'll see. Is the plan here is I'm going to cut one of these off. And make sure you don't cut these pins. These are, oh God, I can't get that close. These are mounting pins, so we don't want to cut those pins off. So we're going to cut it right there and right here. Just like that. And there's that tab. Oh God, I keep getting close to the camera because I'm so used to doing that, but I'm zoomed in. Here's that tab. So we're going to take one of these LEDs and we'll plug them in to make sure they're on and blinding us appropriately.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can't see jack squat anymore.
No, you don't need to be able to see anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this LED. I'm going to aim the wires so they come out where the tab is. And I use my black tack just to hold this LED in place. Boop, just like that. And it'll hold it there. Then we'll make sure the wires are lined up with that tab, and we're going to tuck them very carefully along that tab because we want them to go down in that channel on the housing. So when the housing goes over top of this and we line up that tab to it, it's going to basically squeeze those wires and hopefully not break them.
But it needs a little bit of crazy ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. So there it is in there.
Oh,
You can tell the light is not centered, and that's because I didn't give enough slack. So it pulled on the LED a little bit. So we're gonna just fix that.
I've got to get a toothpick for this crazy glue. Like, I'm taking my time with this one.
Yeah. There's our D. I'm gonna move it a little farther away so it has some room to pull on it. Like that. And then we'll get some glue around this because we'll try to do this in one shot here. We'll put glue around this. We'll grab our housing, line the tab up to the slot with the wires.
Oh, fudge sake. My light came out of my putty.
And then we're going to push this down on here real slow. And squeeze that together. So the wires come out of that little slot. There's a little tiny slot once these go together.
Oh my God, it's so hard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
some of my chrome came out. I'll clean that up here in a second. But now those wires are coming out there's a little notch in the barrel where the wires can come out. And there's my LED.
Man, that was nerve-wracking.
And my chrome bucket. Yeah. I can take my non-transmitting deals and I can push that down just a little bit so it sits more in the center. Just like that. There's my light. And then I'm actually going to jump ahead just a second. Normally they would have us put the lenses on. God, I keep forgetting I'm zoomed in. Let me zoom out a little bit, just a little bit.
Zoom out a little bit.
The lenses would normally go on after we mount the lights into the spreader. But I'm going to go ahead and put this on now. Just so our light is done and it's self-contained. Again, I cut these at a little bit of an angle so I can grab my glass file and just take that little nub off. It keeps the nice circular part of it clean. Just like so. Then we're going to use our not CA. We're going to use our B7000 for this because it's a clear part.
Oh, you're doing lenses already?
Yep, I'm jumping ahead to the lens because that way it's a self-contained thing. I don't have to try to mess with it once it's mounted.
I'm still
go. There's our
trying to
light.
get my
Our
LED
lens.
in there.
And there is our downlight.
B7000. Get a little puddle of B7000 here.
I have some alcohol on this swab, so I'm just going to clean up some of the chrome that came out.
Yep. I have a little acetone handy in case I have a similar situation.
And there's the first downlight. Booger there.
Oh, that looks good, Todd. That looks really good.
Did you get yours done?
I'm working on it. I'm working on my lenses. Hold on.
All right.
Hold on, Slick.
I'll keep going while you're going. You always accuse me of going too fast. So
yeah, well, for once I'm behind.
That's okay. Again, remove this from the sprue. Now we'll go around to the other side. We'll move our mast around a little bit here so I can work on the other side of it.
There we go.
Got wires keeping it plugged in. So again,
yeah, they're bright.
This LED. They're very bright. Look for the tab on this. That's where the wires need to come out. I'm going to put the bulb on the far side away from the tab just so it has some slack in the wire.
You remember the Far Side comic strips? They were funny.
Of course. Oh, yeah.
I always loved those cows.
Just like that. Now, I do tuck the wire down the profile, down the side of it, just so we're not excessively pulling on the wire when these two parts come together. So then we will put some glue around the outside of this guy. Grab our barrel with the tab lined up to that. Get the wires lined up to it. Just gently squeeze those together. Get the wires to come out through the hole. LEDs centered in there.
Let's let our B7000 set for a second. Or a few. Oh, I got glue all over my fingers. I'm glued everywhere.
That's how I got glue everywhere. I don't know if you saw it in the last step, but when I was putting this on, I had glue here, and I got some on the wires because I was putting it on the inside of the circle. And the wires had glue on them. Everything had glue on them.
I've got a combination of CA glue and B7000 stuck to my fingertips now. So it's both chemically rubbery and also like crunchy finger skin everywhere. It's fantastic. I know. You're not really modeling until you've glued yourself together at least a few times.
So again, I'm just using some IPA on a cotton bud here. I had some chrome that was kind of coming out if you've ever used any kind of chrome pen or anything like that, a Molotov,
it goes everywhere.
Like it takes forever to dry. Yeah. I mean, it can literally take a week to dry. And we don't have a week. And you guys don't want to watch for a week. So
you might as well just go to the website sendglittertoyourenemy.com.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at with glue on our fingers right now.
That's right. So I'm going to get the other lens cut off now.
Send glue-filled rubber gloves to yourenemy.com. Oh, Todd, we found the new market.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, send glue-filled gloves to yourenemy.com. Got to figure out a way to encapsulate the glue so it doesn't burst until they put on the gloves. And then, like, the gloves glue themselves to your enemy's hands.
Are you full of terrible ideas all the time?
Yeah, I mean, what the hell is Pit Stain Hobbies all about if it's not idiocracy? It's just, I mean, I'm a big dumb animal. And you're, like, super smart and, like, methodic and technical, and I'm just like, smash these together with some glue, and if your fingers stick to your face, it's fine. It'll be fine.
Well, I would probably over-explain if I was doing this myself, so it's helpful to have you around. And
just keep it simple, keep it fun. We're just gluing yourself to yourself. That's what we do here. We just like that. But
There you go. There's our
I
second
swear,
downlight.
this is my favorite build series ever because I'm doing it with my best buddy Todd, and oh my god, he's so smart and I'm so dumb, and somehow we both managed to build the model. It's a miracle.
Somehow we do get to the end. That's right. And I've never built on YouTube. I always do pictures and websites so I can take my time and explain things. So yeah, this has been interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway,
so Todd's like traumatized by like having to like go kind of quick.
Yeah, I don't get on camera.
Here we go.
Very often. So there you go.
Todd hates being on camera. The funny thing is,
anyway,
everybody,
so that, if we had wrapped this, I mean, you would end up with the same result.
It would be fine. It would be fine.
They'd be held in there. We just wanted to do something a little different. That would have been step 8 is to put these on. Step 9 is to cut the backs off, and step 10 was to round the wires. Basically put these together.
So like
normally we would then move to mounting them, and then the lenses would go on. In step 15, we just did the lenses early, so the lenses got done early.
Yeah.
So now we can actually mount these. So when you mount these, there's a hole, not these 2 holes at the end. There's a hole on this cross piece in here. So this is going to, with the wires facing, so you see where the wires came out of the slot of the mast? We want the wires facing that same direction.
Okay, facing towards the slot.
Yep, we can tuck this in there and put one of those pins from the backer into that hole, just like that.
Oh, and we need to put a little cray glue.
I'm not gluing anything yet because the end caps.
Test fitting.
Yeah, here's an end cap. There's 12C. These are I think in the first pack along with these. And what's going to happen is they have 2 pins. The pins go in these. The hole in the center is to capture the other pin of the light. So we're going to just test fit this. I did notice, and it may just be me, but try this both ways, upside down or this way, because it seems like one way it matches the shape of the spreader a little better. If you flip it over,
it's more centered.
Yeah, if you flip it over, it'll still go on here, but I guess it really doesn't matter.
I don't think it does.
No, it doesn't matter.
No,
so then you can choose if you want to. There's pretty much zero movement in this light once it's in there, so you really can glue the
wiggles a little.
Yeah, but you can glue the pins. I mean, might as well. It's not like it's adjustable. So,
well,
I'm only going to glue the outside pins. I'm not going to glue the inside one, just the outside.
No, I'm just going to glue the outside pins.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't move at all, so I'll glue the 2 pins of this to hold the whole light in place. So it's going to look like that.
It has a couple degrees of movement, like
it
2.
Barely. I mean, it doesn't really move, so that's how that fits. The 2 pins of the light go into these 2 holes. The 2 pins of the end bracket is what captures that light in place. So we'll glue this first one in place. Don't worry about all this excess wire just yet. That's what we're gonna do next.
And I'm gonna clamp this down. And Todd, look at that, perfect. 6-inch clamp. Holds her right down. They wiggle. They got some wiggle to them.
Well, then I'll put a little glue in the center hole.
Yeah, I got a little bit of wiggle. No. I like the wiggle because the ship was obviously in the movie. Todd has photos of the actual boat that they started with, and it was brand new. But in the movie, this thing was beat to hell. This thing was ridden hard and put up wet multiple times. So having the lights like wobbling back and forth, like if you wanted to put this thing on like a vibrating base that shook it a little, like the lights would wiggle. Kind of a fun effect. That's for like the super rich hyper collector movie memorabilia home theater people. The lights will wiggle. Then we got to feed the wires back down, Todd.
We do.
We got to pull in the excess. But these lights look great. I don't even care that they're bright white instead of warm white because they're the outside floods.
Yeah.
And it was I mean it was 1975.
Yeah, so that's 11. You know, the instructions say you don't need to glue the pins of the light, so you can let it rattle around. It's not gonna hurt anything.
It still
And
rattles around.
we're gonna do the same thing on this side.
Yep.
So let me get the wires on the same side as the slot.
Yeah. And then we gotta slowly tug our excess down, which should be fun. Oh, I need my glasses. Figure out how to pull up this excess wire.
And then we use the other end cap in exactly the same way and capture that other pin of the light. Just like that.
I think we might actually want to glue the wires into these outboard channels.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, I'm thinking we might want to do that.
That way, we force the wires to go where we want them to go, and not just hope.
Yep.
Hopes and dreams.
Yep. I think that's what we need to do.
Or you put a little blob of resin or something there.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing a little resin. Tiny blob of resin. Perfect. Don't look. Don't look. Don't look. Eye cancer.
Don't look.
Eye cancer. Eye cancer. Eye cancer.
Wear your protective equipment when you're using that resin.
Yeah. Put on your UV goggles, which God knows where they are. I have no idea.
Yeah. So I'm going to unplug my lights real quick here. And that way I can bring this up to the camera and I can show what that looks like from below. So that's what it looks like, those two down lights.
Yep.
And then what he's doing, I believe, is we're going to route the wires for these lights through that notch and back towards the center. And is that what you're doing? You're just putting a little drop of resin in there just to hold that wire next. Okay.
Yep. That's it.
That sounds very appropriate.
Yes.
So I will.
The little drop.
I will do the same. We'll grab a little resin here.
And then I'm going to make sure they go down the slot in the top of here before I pull my slack.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull it very, very gently.
So I'm just going to hold the wire down there with the finger, put a little drop of resin. Resin is terrible for like attaching things. It's definitely not a glue. But for holding stuff like this, it's like perfect.
Yeah.
I could have used super glue there too, but so all I'm doing is holding that wire in that slot is all I want to do. I'm sorry you can't see what I'm doing, but I will show you here in a second. It's counting to like 10 or 15 seconds. And not looking at it.
Don't look at the UV light, kids.
And that way that wire is now tucked in there.
Yep.
Back all the way up. If I go full wide, I can get real close to the camera. That way that wire is held in that little slot right there. And that way we can pull the slack up through when we get this other side done, is we'll pull the slack up through, down, make sure all the wires, all that extra slack goes down this slot and into the mast, and we're going to pull the slack out the bottom.
And I'm also going to put a little bit of resin right here, Todd, after I pulled my slack out.
Oh, at the slot? At the mast slot?
Yeah, right there. No, right on the rib of the spreader bar.
Oh, like another anchor point on the spreader?
Yeah.
Okay. Just show the kids what you're doing.
I will. Don't stare at the resin, kids. Okay. So what I did was I put a tiny dollop of UV resin right there on each wire, just to kind of make sure it stays tucked in.
Yeah, that looks real good. I'll do that. That looks
Nice
real
and
good. I like
clean.
that.
You know, so it stays tucked behind the spreader bar. That way, if you're looking at the ship from the front or the back or the side, like you're not going to look at this from above if it's on a bookcase. Like it's going to be way too tall. But if you're looking at it from the front, back, or sides, you're not going to see the wires at all.
Yeah.
And if you were really crazy, you could take your Tamiya XF76 and you could put a little bit of paint over those wires if you want. Take a little tiny paintbrush and you could just paint those wires the same color as this, the XF76.
You could.
And that would work a treat if you really want to super camouflage your wire. Wow, Todd, I'm proud of this.
Yeah, I'm just pulling my spare wire back down towards
Yep.
the mast.
It's delicate, Todd. I took my time on that as much as you think I could, because I'm, Mr. Impatient. Glue it, screw it, done, bang, over.
Yep.
Okay, while Todd's playing with his wires, we'll be right back.
All right. So, kind of like Ian did, is I used a couple of drops of resin just to hold it there and there and there and there. And then we pull the wire very gently back down. Any slack can come back down the mast. And we want them to sit at the very bottom of the groove. There's a slight indentation. You can just barely see it in there. That's where the wires should lay. So both wires should come out outside that groove, because when we put the next part of the mast on, it's going to go down there and sit flush and basically capture those wires. So that's the next step, or in the next stage, I should say. But that is actually the end of this stage. Should we plug the wires in to make sure our lights still work?
Yeah, mine still work. Yay!
So I will plug this in. This will be our send off for this. There's my mid-mast light is working. That's wire 9. Then we'll go back over here to wire 10. We'll plug in wire 10. And the top masts, our downlights are working. So there's our downlights. And that is the end of that stage. We have completed it. Can you believe it? Normally, the next couple steps, we would put the lenses in, but we put the lenses in already. So
small miracle.
That would be step 16 is just to pop those lenses into the 2 downlights, and that completes stage 16. So we'll move on. We'll get the parts and get around for stage 17. We'll finish the mast, or I think most of the mast.
Okay, we're back with a whole lot more parts. Holy heck.
Lots of sprues. Lots of tiny things on sprues.
Lots of itty bitty little microscopic things.
And this little doodad that's in the plastic bag.
Yeah, this
that's
is very
the first
important.
thing we need. Yeah, it's the first thing we need. So to pop it out of there.
Well, the first thing we need is my eyeballs.
Yeah, you're going to need your eyeballs. And this has a little slot on the back, just like that. And a ledge, and I dropped it.
Yes.
Looks just like that. And what we're going to do is on the mast, right there is a tab.
Yeah.
And if you look at this detail,
goes towards the slot.
Yeah, so this detail has a flat part on it. I don't know if the light's going to catch this. There's a flat part, and then this part with the double slots. The flat part goes towards this groove on the mast. So it's going to eventually go in here and sit on there. If I can get my fingers to do it, we're going to glue it just like that. Can you see it in there? That's how it's going to be glued. So let's glue that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Have you glued it already?
No, I'm putting glue on it now, and I'm trying to put it into place. It is very tiny.
It is small, and it's in the middle, so you kind of have to use fingers on both sides of it. You know, I had a toothpick around here that I used for gluing. It's probably stuck to me somewhere.
Toothpick's probably stuck to your ankle.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually going to put the glue inside this.
Or a moving box.
Yeah, I have plenty of those all over the place, too.
Todd's got a new Casa de Todd that he's moving into with a new workshop and everything. He's going to upgrade his whole operation.
Just like that. There it is in there.
There we go.
Catch the light just right.
Just
like
there.
that.
There we are.
All right. That was step 1. Step 2 is going to be putting the brace on the triadic. At one end of this brace is a loop, little eyelet like this. This goes down towards the triadic itself. So we're going between a hole in the triadic and this smaller hole of the mast here. So it's just going to fit, and you may have to bend the triadic into place. It's just going to glue just like that. Just across like, these 2 parts.
Like that, with a little hole at the bottom, a little loop at the bottom.
Yep, a little loop has a hole that goes in the triadic. So we're going to glue that in there just like that. Get that done real quick. And this is step 2 of this stage, which is stage 17.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy.
That in place, and then get this in place.
Oh, that was easier than ordering a pizza from Domino's. It just goes right in.
Yep.
Man, why am I thinking about pizza from Domino's tonight? That's like the worst pizza in the world. Well, no.
No, it's not the worst pizza in the world.
No.
You should take that back.
I take it back, Domino's. I'm sorry.
You take it back? Anyway, so
I take it back.
I'm just holding this for a second. Anyway, it goes just like that. The eyelet's up here. That piece goes into the smaller of those 2 holes there in the mast. Yep. Just like that. That's going to finish us through step 2. Step 3, if you can imagine, is going to be grabbing our next mast piece, number 5.
Oh, yeah.
It also has a notch in the base that matches. I think I can let that go now.
Yes.
Yes, there's a tab in there. Right there. You can see it. So this is going to fit over this. And if you did the wires before, they'll get caught in that little groove, and this should be nice and thin. So we'll just glue that in place real quick.
Yep. There we go. All right. Hold that in. Oh, this thing is looking amazing.
It really is. And it's getting really big. Like, it's really long. We'll have to
and
measure
large.
Yeah. So just putting that on there, holding it on. Once again, I like to make sure that it's straight.
Todd's all about plumbness.
Yes.
Well,
when you have when the mass is made of multiple pieces, even the slightest little,
so many parts. Yeah, I know.
When it's made of multiple pieces, you got to make sure that there's not just a little bit of off down here will make it really noticeable up top. So
a tiny bit at the bottom is going to be a massive amount up top. So like you want to just eyeball it while you're working. Make sure you
you just glue that on. That's part 5.
Keep it going.
After part 5, now we get to do our what I call them, the lookout hoops.
The lookout hoops, lookout hoops.
The lookout hoops. These they look the same. But this does have an indent on one side.
Yes,
and it's
it does.
On the other, and the indent goes down, and that's just going to slide over the top of this guy.
Does it have a groove as well?
I don't think so.
No, it's like a press fit. There's no groove. Oh, that really fits down there tight.
Yeah, I didn't see a groove.
No glue
I don't think
needed.
It matters. Yeah, it doesn't need glue. I'm going to glue it anyway. But
I'm going to put a tiny dab. But still, it doesn't really need glue. It's
just around there.
It's such a tight fit.
God, I wanted to say that's what she said so badly there.
Oh, well, you said it. So there we go.
And then that just pops on there. And again, just make sure that is sitting level. So I will actually even use the grooves on my table here. The marks on my table. To make sure that is as centered as I can.
I'm just eyeballing it.
It's okay if it's a little bent, because even on the real ship, there would have been a lot of people standing on these or sitting on these could cause them to bend over time. They probably were a little crooked even on the real ship. So this is step 4. Step 4 is getting the 2 lookout hoops on.
I think that was a 30-06, an M1 Garand that Brody had in the movie that he shot the oxygen tank with. World War II rifle. Yeah.
Then we get to put on the final mast piece, which is number 6. Again,
we got more mast.
Yep, it's got a notched end. This has a notched tip. Glue it on
for the ship's pleasure. There we go. Let's Get a little more cray glue. Bingo bango. Bob's your uncle. There's a little hole in the end of this. We got to put something on here.
Oh yeah, we're not done. Just because we're
No.
putting on the last piece of the mast.
Holy hell, this thing is huge.
Yeah, I'm running out of room. All right.
This is a 2 foot by
This has
3
a little.
foot work mat.
This particular piece has a little wobble to it, so make sure you get it straight.
Yeah. So this is at least about 2 feet tall right now from base to tip. 24 inches. Massive.
I'm going to let that dry.
How many is that?
I don't know. Measure it out.
How many centimeters is that? Like,
I think up top
58?
we still have to do the up at the tip here. I think, what do they call them? The day balls or something?
Day balls?
Day balls? Day balls?
I didn't say it. Thank God it wasn't my voice.
The little balls that are up on the mast. It looks like a weather vane, but I think they're day balls or something, and they're used for marking ships at night during the day or something.
I'll defer to Todd on this one. Yeah. I'm not saying that.
I know I'm saying it wrong. They're day something. Day balls, day breaks, day cubes, day.
I don't care. I don't care if you call them waffles and pancakes. It just sounded weird.
Yeah,
but that is a massive mast.
Yeah. So once we get these on and we mount it, so mounting the last piece, that's step 5. Step 6, we're going to go on to using this sprue, which has parts numbered 1, 2, and 4. So there's 2 number 1s, there's 2 number 2s, and there's a number 4. And these are 13L. These are the 2 that we need first. So we're going to cut these off. We'll let this glue dry and we'll be right back.
All right, everybody, we're back. And for step 6, we're going to grab parts 13L or number 1 on your little black parts sprue, which I have now lost. Oh, it's right here. There we go. Number 1.
The 2 number 1s. These are both the same.
And they're going to glue in right there.
Yeah. So there's a big hole right under the spreader on both sides of the mast. So one is going to go in each one, and they're eventually going to come together. And so when you do get these done, you want to make sure that they line up. So the holes on the sides line up. So when they come together. So we will get these glued. We'll do that. You can probably do that while the camera's running here.
I'm just gonna shove it in the hole, and I'm gonna go for it. Oh, it doesn't want to fit in the hole, Todd. Oh, there it goes. It's in the hole.
There's the one in the front, just under the spreader. I'm going to do the back one before the glue can fully set, so I can kind of muscle them around if I need to get them to line up better. And I'm just putting glue on the center peg here.
Yep.
Put this in the back hole and get these together, and then line the rounded tabs up so the holes.
They're good. Up. We're probably going to put some rigging in there.
Oh yeah, that's definitely for some rigging.
Yeah, we're gonna.
So that way, those are both glued in place, and the holes on either side are lined up. Those are up against that. That, my friend, is step 6, and step 7 is doing the back side. So step 8, we're going to do the next 2. I basically think we're going to repeat this again. So these two, mark 2 on this sprue. We'll just go ahead and cut these off right now.
Use your fancy nippers if you have them.
Yeah.
Break them out if you have them.
And these, we're going to go down the mast under the mid-mast light to this top hole right here.
Yeah, right
first hole. And so this is going to do basically the same thing. So we're just going to put these 2 on either side and get them to line up just like that. So we'll go ahead and glue that.
Oh, a little cray-cray on that side.
Yeah, this should go quick.
This is
there. Nice.
This is getting mildly unwieldy.
Yeah, but it's kind of cool.
It is very cool.
And we'll do that on the back side.
Be aware of your surroundings, you know? Like,
and pinch them together and try to line them up so they match each other.
Do your best, everybody.
Just like that. That way it looks, they have these little bolt details on them.
Yeah.
And the bolts line up with each other. Just like that.
You can try to squeeze
the
little arms
step
together.
8. And step 9 is doing the back side of it. Then we'll grab the very last one on this sprue, number 4, which is actually part 13J.
Mm-hmm.
Snip this out of here. And this
Oh.
is a single one with a notch.
Yeah, where the heck does that go, Todd?
If you look a little farther down, you got these 2 slots, and it's going to go in
yeah.
the bottom slot. So there's 2 slots here, and the reason for this notch is so that top slot, we'll just test fit it here, is visible.
Oh, it's open.
You should be able to, you'd be able to see that top slot when you mount this.
So don't fill it with crazy glue like I might.
Yeah, and you can you'd have to force it because this slot's a little smaller, but we don't want to do that. We want to put it in the lower of these 2 slots so that top slot is in the notch. So we'll glue that in place real quick. This is step 10. Just put some glue on the tab here.
And Todd's already missed his cue for when I go, I don't know, Todd.
Oh.
Why is the carpet wet, Todd?
I don't know, Margot.
There we go. Always wanted a friend named Todd. You're the first friend I've had named Todd.
There you go. That top notch is open for some other part. That gets us through step 10. Now, step 11, we're going to go to this sprue that has all of these parts 3.
These are all identical.
And these are all the same. Yep.
Yep.
They say 3 on the back of them, too. So we're just going to cut all these off. Let's just do that real quick. Boop. Boop. Boop.
You want me to boop? Boop.
Yeah, you get a boop. I'll let you boop the other half. How's that?
And boop. Okay, we're fully booped. I can't boop anymore. I booped all I can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, Super Troopers.
Yes, fully booped.
All right. So we got to put 2 pairs on here.
There's a spare. First, take the first one, and the one we just put on with the notch. This is the back side of it.
Yeah.
So let's glue that. Let's glue that one in, and then the other 2 go in pairs. So we'll put that right back in this hole here.
I need like a new tip of my crazy glue. It's getting all bulbous.
Get that lined up so it's even with the front.
There we go. Very nice. Very nice.
Perfect.
And then these other 2 go on this central.
The other 2 go on the center part. So see this hole, not the notch, but these 2 holes here and the matching holes on the back side. That's where the other 4 go. So we're going to put 1 there, 1 there, and then 2 on the back. So let's go ahead and do that. This is going to be step 12.
Back. All right, everybody. We're getting up on step 14 and 15 here. We are going to put in all the little climbing rungs on the mast. We've cut them out of the sprue already because no one wants to watch us do that. And they're going to go.
Give you 2 extra, so keep 2 as spares. I'll put these in
get a couple spares
bag. Yep, you do get 2 spares. I cut them all off just so I don't have to keep the sprue around.
So, Todd, we're going to alternate these. We're going to go every other hole on this side.
Yeah. If you look closely at the mast, there's holes in the side that have squares.
Yes.
That's where these rungs go. Every other one has a square hole. And so these just fit into these with the hook, just like that, with the hook facing up towards the top of the mast. We're just going to put them in all the way down. Now, on the other side of these, and we can do it at the same time, so we're just going to show how to do this. So step 15 is to put all these rungs in, also the rungs on the other side, because these steps, they're steps, and they alternate all the way down the mast. On the other side of each rung, I guess you would say, is a round hole. The round hole is for the ones that were on here. Now, we've already cut these off. They're all these little bolt heads. They're all little bolt heads.
They're very tiny.
And the bolt heads go on the other side. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue the rungs in the square holes, again, with the edge of these facing up towards the lights, or the hoops, or however you want to say the top of the mast. They should all go in like this. They should all glue in. The nice thing is they're square based, so it should align them very, very nicely. And then we'll put the bolt heads on the other side. And that's going to take us through steps 15, 16, and 17. So we will be right back.
Yes. Okay, I am now officially cross-eyed, and we have all of our little rungs and bolts on our mast, and they look fantastic.
It does look really good.
As Todd counted, 14 of each.
14 total. Well, yeah. I mean, there's 14 rungs and 14 bolts. So just
Yes.
every rung should alternate all the way down. There should be a bolt head on
Yes.
the opposite side of it. And they do give you 2 spare bolts and 2 spare rungs, just in
Even
case.
though I only have one spare rung when we're done here because apparently one of them is glued to my forehead that I haven't
Yeah.
seen yet.
Yeah, and he has a black work surface, so he can't find anything anyway.
Oh, yeah, because I'm a moron.
With that, we are done working on the mast in this pack. This is...
Yes.
And how long did you say it was? I see, let's see.
2 feet long.
5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, it's almost 2 feet long.
Yeah, it's basically 2 feet long.
What is that in centimeters? Come on.
Like 58 centimeters, 57,
our
58.
Our metric friends.
58, 57 centimeters-ish.
Yeah, we got a lot done. All 6 pieces of the mast put together. We have lots of collars on. We have our rungs in. We have our mid-mast light. We have our spreader lights, the spreader bar with the lights. We have the triadic with its brace.
Oh, it's 60 centimeters long.
There you go. We have our 60. Spotter hoops.
Thank you.
Our lookout hoops up the top. And that's it. That... Yes.
Speaking of the hoops, I think we get a little M1 Garand rifle to go inside the cabin. I think we might get that.
Maybe we do. I actually do. I think you're right. I think we do. But that takes us through the end. That is the end of stage 17. So let's get our stuff and we'll prepare for the next one. You can put this now in a safe place. We're done working on the mast.
A very safe place.
A very safe place. There's lots. It is 2 feet long and there's lots of little things on it. So just keep this safe. And we'll go on to making some details for the cabin.
All right. Ready? We'll be right back. Hey, everybody. We're back with Stage 18, and we're building something I never read. Books. I don't know what a book is. I know what a book looks like. I'm not sure about the inside, but the outside, I'm pretty familiar with what they look like. And these look like books.
Yeah,
and we've got some other fun stuff here too. We'll get into, but yeah.
And the books look great. Look, they got little pages on them. All of these books are numbered 1 through 8, and we're just going to stack them in order. So 1 fits on the holes of 2, 3 fits on the holes of that. You just keep going down the line here. The numbers, you just keep going like that. And when you get to 4, we're test fitting these right now. When you get to 4, you get a whole new set of pegs.
Yeah.
And then we're going to put 5, and all the books should face the same direction. So all their spines are facing out like that. And 6.
Yeah.
And 7.
I'm looking.
And then when you get to this end, you're going to have 8, which has 2 pegs. It's just going to close up just like that. So you get a whole stack of books just like that.
Yeah.
And we're going to there's your books. All the spines facing out. We're just going to
really just need to glue the last book. I think that's all I'm going to do.
Not quite.
Not quite.
You have to at least glue book 1 to book 4.
Book 1 to book 4.
Like when you get to this point, because those 4 are held together by those.
Oh, book like 3 to book 4.
And it's gone.
Well, with the pegs.
Oh no!
What'd you lose?
A book just went flying.
Uh-oh! Flying books! Watch out!
Oh, here it is. Never mind. Found it.
Harry Potter Part 7.
Yeah. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to lay these out. I'm going to put a little glue on these pegs because it'll grab all the books.
Yeah, that will grab all the books.
So I'm just going to put just a quick layer of glue on the whole length of these pegs.
There we go. And we glue book number 8 to the light colored book at the end here.
2, 3.
We've got the last of our books. Look at our little stack of books. They're adorable. I'll never read them. They're so adorable.
I'm going to line them all up by putting them on the table here. Let that dry for just a second.
Yeah, let them glue to your table.
The same thing. I'm going to glue
That's a good idea.
the peg, glue the whole, just the whole entire peg. Just a nice little thin film of glue on the peg, and then we'll grab these in order again. Here's 5, and here's 6, and I think this is 7. I'm gonna put a little extra on the end of that one. 7. Once again, I'm going to push them down on my table so I can make sure they're all nice and square. 7. And then 8 has its own pegs. So we'll grab a little glue for these guys. And we'll put them in.
I've moved on to step 7, gluing the toolbox together.
Slow down. Slow down, Michelangelo. That glue, the toolbox, by the way, is also, these are plastic.
This is die-cast metal.
These 2 sprues are plastic. However, all of this is metal. The first aid kit is metal. The toolbox is metal. The binocular case is metal. The Thermos Flask parts are metal.
It's amazing. It's beautiful.
There's our little stack of books. Looks great.
Yeah, books are awesome.
And then with the toolbox, we do want to glue this together, but the top can go on, be fitted either way, and it can be gone back. If it can be put on backwards. This little clasp in the center here goes with the lock, so it should fit like that. And we'll glue that together. I have run out of glue, of course, as I often do.
As one does.
That's right. But putting all the books together is steps 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Step 7 is getting to the toolbox, where if I could get any glue to come out of here. You know, I bought replacement glue.
Did you?
And I packed it. Yes. So
I send you temporary emergency glue supplies?
Oh, no. I have glue. It's just packed.
Got it.
So I'm just going to put some glue around the inside lip of this toolbox, and we'll just drop the top on here and give it a good squeeze. And that's what our toolbox looks like. Looks good.
It is adorable.
It's a cute little toolbox. And then that's step 7. Step 8, we need to cut the handle off of this white sprue. Did you already do that?
I'm such a bastard.
You're just cruising ahead, aren't you? We're going to cut that off. We want to keep the pegs on this, by the way. You need these
keep
pegs.
The pegs.
And then this
just fits right into those 2 holes. Yeah.
Just like that. And gives us a handle for our first aid kit. So we'll glue that in real quick. And then we'll put the front on it. And the front has 2 pegs that match the 2 holes. And it goes just like this. It says Johnson & Johnson. Nice. Family first aid kit. So we're going to put some glue in the holes here.
Trademark. Ish. I don't think it even says Johnson & Johnson, to be honest with you. It looks like Johnson & Johnson, but it's so squiggly. It looks like Jom Mom and Jom Mom.
Sure looks like Johnson to me. Maybe it's Jomson.
Jomson. Got to get around every nook and cranny you can with
make
licensing.
Sure that's nice and straight.
There we
and
go.
that's our toolkit. Or sorry, our first aid kit. So
Looks
that
great.
takes us through step 9. Step 10, we need to cut the other white piece off the sprue.
Yep.
Which is this little guy. So we'll get him nipped off the sprue.
I didn't know Todd was a moil.
And then this goes in the bottom of this guy. We just glue him in here. This is the top of the thermos. Where we cut the gate though, there's black.
There's a tiny bit of black.
Yeah, it's black. It's a black part that was painted white. So I will probably touch that up with a white paint pen.
But you can come back to that whenever you want.
Yeah, we'll do that. So that's our top of our thermos. I'm going to hold that there for a second. This is one of those old fat boy thermoses.
I'm not familiar with the terminology.
Well, I mean, you think of a thermos, you think of like the thin camping thermos, right?
Yeah. Oh, the old soup thermos, you mean? Like
Yeah, this is like a big fat boy thermos. This is one
that
of those.
Mom used to give us to take to school with soup in it.
Well, yes, or camping.
Yeah. I'm gonna put a little glue on the bottom half of this yellow and white thermos.
And so that's the top, and we'll touch up that white. And then that is glued to the bottom of the thermos. So you end up with this big fat boy, just like that. This is all metal, by the way, except for the top.
Yeah.
So we'll
It is
just glue
quite
these
nice.
two parts together. The
Already
details go
done.
together quicker than these small details are great because they go quicker than all the stuff. Oh God, look at that big pile of glue I got on my finger. Look at that.
Oh, that's gonna stick.
And now I'm glued to the paper towel. I'm glued to my other finger. I'm glued to everything. Everything's glued.
And we've got a little pot here, but we don't do anything with that. It's just a pot. We just have a pot.
Yeah.
You want to heat up some broccoli cheese soup? Be my guest. Use
Well,
your
that's what's
pot.
in the thermos, right? You can take the soup out of your thermos here.
Heat up your lobster bisque. Oh, I love
right.
lobster bisque.
This
You know
goes
who
in the
I
thermos.
miss? Soup Man.
What's that?
Soup Man.
Oh yeah.
Like, they renamed him from the Soup World War II bad guy name in Seinfeld, and he had a whole chain, Soup Man, and they went out of business.
So
I used to have one across the street from my work.
There's two brackets on here. These are both the same. These are the sides brackets for the binoculars case. We're going to cut these out of here real quick.
Yep. Oh, fudge.
Behind each one, I should also point out there's a small peg. That peg is what we're going to use to grab onto the strap. So
yes, this itty bitty little strap has to go. The hole has to go onto the back of that little peg, and then we've got to glue this sucker onto the side of the binocular case.
So this is our strap in here.
Oh my god.
So step 12 was cutting these two out. Here's the strap. At each end of the strap is this tiny little hole. And the strap needs to go over that pin. So
it is a mild nightmare getting that on there. But you can do it. It's harder when you have your fingertips already covered in like 7 layers of crazy glue residue.
Yeah, there's one
end. If you have clean fingers, it's way easier.
And then we'll get the peg through the other side of this.
Oh, you got to really squeeze these. You got to squeezy.
Well, I'm trying to capture the corner with my fingernail and then drag the hole over the peg, and that seems to work okay.
Yeah, it's not the easiest thing in the world.
There you go. See all the glued paper towel, my finger. So that's hanging over the pegs. And then what we're going to do is there's matching slots on either side of this case, and these are just going to get glued in here with catching the strap in between.
Oh yeah. And this last one is going to give me the fits.
Yeah?
Probably.
So we'll put a little glue in the hole.
Oh, you son of a disobedient peg.
So I put some glue in the holes of this guy. And I'm going to grab this, try to keep the strap on it. That sounded terrible. Keep the strap on.
Got it. I think I got it. It's just fiddly. It's not difficult. It's just tiny. And if you really screw it up, I'll be honest, once everything's together and it's inside the cabin, I don't think anyone will notice. There's going to be so much flotsam and jetsam in there.
Well, I want
right,
to line
Todd?
these up so it goes up to the other side. There we go.
Well, we all want perfection, but sometimes you can't attain it. You have to understand.
Squeeze these really good.
Oh, man. I'm going to clamp mine.
Yep. I think that's going to work the best.
That was like the hardest part of the whole pack.
It's just so these are seated all the way.
Yeah.
I'm just going to squeeze them real good with a clamp.
Yep. Oh, man. Oh, I feel tired. We've got so many nice little props here, though. I love this.
And there you go. There's your little binocular case.
Yeah, this is good.
Isn't that cute?
That
You have
is.
your
That is.
binoculars.
It's heavy, too.
Yeah, it's metal, so
Yeah.
it's heavy.
It
Yeah.
is solid.
So that takes care of the binoculars case, which was 13. It was putting the straps on, and 14 was
Yep.
attaching the straps to this guy. And then 15 is just a pot, which is metal. This is just a pot for the
We've
stove.
got the joy of cooking here, and 20
That's right.
ways to cook crab, and Moby Dick, and probably a few other choice books.
Yeah.
Got a toolkit with your,
I'll even, Yeah, I'll bring the camera down, and there,
it's so good.
stage 18 complete.
So good.
We have our books all stacked. We have our first aid kit from Johnson and Johnson.
I was going
binoculars,
Johnson
our
and
little
Johnson.
our little thermos. I might even have. Let's see what it looks like. I'll grab some flat white. I have an AK pen.
I love the first aid kit.
It's
Family first aid kit. This is not enough for a shark bite. Why is it on the boat?
And we'll see if we can touch this up. Make that.
It's like if you get a fishing hook in your hand or something. It's not really. It's not capable of dealing with what happens in the movie. I mean, the captain was chopped in half by a great white shark. This first aid kit wasn't doing much for him.
There you go. No more black.
Yeah. Well, that looks good.
Quick,
Yeah, a little flat
AK
white.
Flat
pen.
white. Just real quick. Just touched it on both sides, and our thermos
There you
is
go.
good to go.
I will do the same at some point. I'm really proud of this mast. I really love this mast.
That's the end of stage 18. That's the end of pack 3. So I'm bringing the camera back up. We'll bring the mast back over.
This mast is amazing.
We basically built the mast with its lighting.
It's awesome.
There's a lot more that's going to get attached to this. There's still a lot of slots and holes in this, and the tip has to be done. We haven't done the tip yet, but
we got to do rigging,
and there's something for there, and
all sorts.
But the lighting is in, the triadic is in, the rungs are in,
Yep.
the mid-mast light is on. I think that looks great. We also did the front windows of our cabin.
Got our front windows.
So that was our first stage.
They're nice. They snap in quite nicely.
Yeah.
They hold their
front
place.
Panel
they
and
don't
front
swing
windows
around.
of the main cabin are done. And that's it, my friend.
Yes, that's all. Fun times, Todd. Thank you.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this once again.
On camera here. Good fun. Good time.
Todd and Moron building the ORCA.
That's right.
And by the way, when Pack 4
which one's the moron?
Come out, I'm well, sometimes you are, but mostly it's
sometimes
me.
I am the moron. That's true.
Very occasionally. Like I'd say 1 out of 10, it's Todd. 9 out of 10 times, I'm the dumb one. But this was a blast, and
Agora's
instructions were spot on. They were really good.
Yeah.
Just don't lose your parts.
Good.
They're very tiny.
Yeah. Don't lose these little props. All these are going to go in the cabin at some point. So
put them in a Ziploc, people.
Yep, put them in a Ziploc and save them. I have a whole ORCA bag that I had created to keep all my screws in, the cable. I put my extra rungs are in there now. And I will put all these in their own little plastic bag and throw them in there.
Yep.
I keep these little plastic bags for that.
I got a fresh Ziploc just for the.
You're good to go.
For the props.
So that is pack 4. I can't wait to see what's next.
I'm looking forward to pack 5 and the rest of this build. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Don't forget to go over to agoramodels.com.
Yeah. Click the links below.
We'll put the thing up here.
It'll be in the doobly-doo.
Sure. And we'll have the QR code on the screen, all that jazz. And then I guess we'll see you for pack 5, right? I'll be in the house by then.
With all the fancy QR codes in Todd's new workshop.
Yeah, we'll see what the new workshop probably looks exactly like this. From you, from the viewer's perspective, it probably looks just like this. Is this Ben?
You will not know the difference at all. If
Yeah.
I moved, you'd be like, holy crap, Ian, you got a new workbench. Todd moves, you're like, oh, it's another Todd video with Ian, or Ian video with Todd. And Todd's right where he was. So either way, good luck on the new house and the new shop, Todd. And thank you, Agora. We love you. We love working with you. This thing's awesome. Adios, everybody.
Good night, everyone.